Morning everybody, Dennis here. We're on part 2 of this trailer brake install on the Chevy Silverado. What we are going to do this morning is plug in the factory connector to the trailer brake. You can see you got 4 colored wires here. If I can move this out of the way. You have white, red, blue, and black. On this truck, the white is your ground, the red is the brake signal input, the blue is the trailer brake, and the black is your power. Same on this factory harness. This trailer brake actually came with a connector on it, but no pigtail coming off. So I want to be able to disconnect this thing when it's not in use. So it's pretty easy to take this connector off. You just pull the wires out of the back, but you got to be careful when you're doing that because you could pull the terminal off the wire. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I got some connectors here that I'm going to put on the end, and that'll allow me to connect and disconnect it as I please. Each one of these, after you connect them, needs to be individually wrapped with electrical tape to prevent any accidental contact, because that will cause issues, possibly short your trailer brake controller or pop a fuse. But that's what I'm fixing to do, and I will bring y'all back when it's done. Alright, this is what it looks like after I've got them taped up, connected and taped up. Now I'm going to put these together and tape the entire thing to just add a little more protection, and I'll show y'all that in just a second. Alright y'all, I've been doing a little work inside the cab here. I'm going to show y'all where this fuse block or junction block is I was talking about. It's right up here on the left side, left of the left foot, so to speak, right by the e-brake. You have this cover that actually fits over, has a little plastic nut in the middle. Anyway, you pop the cover off and it's got a diagram. I can't zoom in on this, but it's the second one from the left on the top. Let me get this light over here so I can see a little better. Okay. It's going to be this one right here. second one. I have already run my wiring. Sorry. I've already run my wiring. I got it snaked up under the dash. I'm going to get some zip ties and clean it up. And I've already mounted my controller. Ended up mounting mine under my cup holder. And I did make sure that it's going to clear. So, but it's all tightened in and buttoned up. I wanted to make sure it was far enough away that, especially during hunting season, which is when I'm going to be moving that tractor around the most, I wasn't going to hit it with my boot, and my hunting boots are a lot bigger than these, so I wanted to make sure it was out of the way. That's why I'll put it right there. When you install these, you need to make sure you read your instructions on how they get installed, because they can only be mounted in certain angles for the most part. That's why you need to make sure you read your instructions. Anyway, I still have to wire from the 7-pin back to the junction block under the hood here. That's what I have left to do right now. And then wire in the 7-pin at the back. But I will bring y'all back when I get to that. Alright y'all, figured I'd stop and give an update. I just got finished running the wiring from the relay box or fuse box under the hood all the way back to the 7-pin where it's going to be. I basically ran it along, followed the factory harness the best I could all the way down, and it runs, I ain't going to be able to show you, but it runs down the frame rail on the driver's side here, then goes over the fuel tank, continues the frame rail, and then comes out along this side of the frame rail, and then now it is out here where the 7-pin is going to be. Anyway, that is where I'm at right now. I am getting ready to wire the 7-pin, and then I will connect it on there, and I will show y'all that when I get it done. Alright y'all, I got the 7-pin hooked up. All of these wires are the correct color except for my trailer brake, which is normally blue. This one is black, or excuse me, this one is red due to I didn't have any blue wire. Other than that, all the other ones are correct. You know, your 12-volt auxiliary is black, which is this one. Then you have your right turn is green, and then, like I said, in my case, the trailer brake output is a red wire. Then you have your ground, your left turn, and your tail lights, which is brown. So I got all this hooked up. I do not have a they use this center one for like a backup or another auxiliary, but I'm not going to use it. As a matter of fact, the harness on that trailer doesn't even have a pin in the center. So, but that is it. All I got to do is put this cover on and then put it in the bracket and finish taping up the wiring. And in a minute, I will hook up the power to it, and then I will come back here with the test light and show y'all how to correctly make sure your wiring is correct. Be right back. Alright y'all, I got everything hooked up and back together, taped up. I have the brake pedal depressed and my tail lights on. And let me back out so y'all can see this. There's my right brake, my left brake, and my tail. And I've already checked it, but when I have my turn signal on, this one flashes and this one flashes for left and right. My ground is right here, the trailer brake is right here, and I have hot for my auxiliary, but I believe you actually have to have it hooked up to the trailer for the trailer brake to get any power. In a minute, I'm going to get up. Oh, I'm going to button up the fuse block up here under the hood, put the cover back on, put the brace on over here, and then I'll move the truck over there and hook it up to the trailer, because I'm kind of curious to see how well it'll do. But I will get that hooked up, and then I will be right back. Alright, y'all, that is it. I went and hooked up the truck to the trailer and hooked up the wiring, or the connector, and all the lights work, turn signals, brake, tail lights, and I went ahead, and since this is not a time delay trailer brake controller, I actually had to manually override it, and the way you manually override it, it has this particular one has this, not block the light, got a red button up here. You push the red button down, and that applies your brake force to the rear axles on the trailer. I pushed that down and then drove about a foot, and you could see after I got out of the truck that the rear axle on the trailer had drug on the ground. So I was like, okay, it's engaging. So now all I have to do is, when I go to pull the trailer and the tractor, is adjust the sensitivity, and it should be it. That is how you install a trailer brake controller on a 2000 Chevy Silverado without a tow package. This the hardest part for me was running the wiring from the fuse block to the back, because there's just not a whole lot of room, especially around the fuel tank. Other than that, it was actually pretty simple stuff. But I think that's it for today. It's about 95 degrees outside, and so I'm gonna sit in this truck and enjoy the air conditioning for a minute, and try to take it easy. It's hot out there. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and everybody have a great day.